the Social Millennial Podcast. We out here, gang. It's been a minute. I know, maybe I should have said something about it, but we be out here. COVID was doing his thing. I had to sort of regroup. You feel me? All of us got that time to regroup. We had the lockdowns going. We made it this far. We thought we was gonna be out of the water. I think the Blasio thought we were gonna be out the water. I think Cuomo thinks that we're out of the water. He just had, for those of you just chilling with us, I'm in NYC, born and raised. We talk about a lot of NYC things here, but we do talk about a lot of other things, pop culture references, political stuff. I try not to go into it, but we go into it. So if this is y'all first time tuning in, welcome. Enjoy the content. Listen, we've got audio content going right now on all of your major podcast providers. We've got a homepage. All the links are going to be in the description. If you're on, or if you like watching your podcasts, we do have a video component. We're on YouTube. Hello, my YouTube people. For all of y'all who could see this, bang. Thank y'all for staying with us. Thank y'all for sticking with us, and spread the word. Share it. Share the podcast. If y'all find this entertaining, y'all find this enjoyable. You feel me? Y'all find that y'all spend time checking in with the dude. You feel me? Social Millennial Podcast. Marcus Pena presents. Then share it. Spread the word so people know what's going on, so people can stay up. You feel me? So Cuomo thinks that we're good, or we're close to good. He had his press conference a few days ago at Yankee Stadium, which, let me tell you, Cuomo rolled by to have this press conference at Yankee Stadium, and it was murder. They were giving out tickets left and right on 161. It was not a joke. And if y'all know 161, y'all know they be giving out tickets, but it was on a different level. It's not that fun when Cuomo pulls up to this neck of the woods in the Bronx by Yankee Stadium. But yeah, he was talking about we got to get back to work, workforce, the whole shebang. We've been hearing Biden say it. We've been hearing other politicians say it. We've got to get back to work. We can't go backwards. It was a good message. The CDC, I think if they had it their way, would lock everything down. That's just my opinion. They're already they already changed the mandate to bring back indoor masking, even for people who are vaccinated. So even if you've got the shots, 1 shot, 2 shot, Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, doesn't matter. They're talking about now you need to mask up when you're inside because of this Delta variant going around. We thought we were out of it, but India said, hold my beer. So now we've got this Delta variant going around and spreading all over the place. And yeah. So stay safe, y'all. Stay safe. Do what y'all need to do. Do what y'all feel is the most comfortable for y'all to do to stay safe. And continue doing what you do. Continue living your lives. It's still a troubling time. We're not out of this yet. Regardless of what political party you ascribe to, political philosophy you ascribe to, it's out here. So keep it together. We're gonna make it through this. Now to some news. Nothing big. We're gonna have a nice chill talk. It's been a minute. I was thinking maybe I could do a hour and a half long. I was like, nah, we'll just chill. I'm chilling with the peoples. Y'all haven't heard from me in a minute. Been doing a lot of really great things, developing, so on and so forth. We got a lot of new tech going on. I don't know if you could tell the lighting's different. You may not be able to tell. We got some new mics. We're working on it. We're building. You feel me? Now, I'll say it again. I hope that if y'all love this content, y'all like this content, even if y'all with it just a little bit, share it, like it, review it on Facebook. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We were on Twitter. Not quite messing with Twitter like that. Don't worry. Hasn't been any shadow bans, anything controversial, but just I don't think Twitter's a place for the programming. I don't think it's the right fit. Maybe in the future that'll change. But Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, check us out. The email, thesocialmillenialpodcast at gmail.com. Get to us with your questions, comment on YouTube, like, subscribe on YouTube, hit the little ding and the notification bell, whatever podcast provider that y'all ascribe to, like it, Give me a review, give me some stars on Facebook. You know, every little bit counts. We're not charging y'all anything. We're not doing a membership service or anything. We're not doing a Patreon where y'all ain't getting certain kinds of content unless y'all pay for it. Right now it's for free. It's a free for all for everybody. So it would help us out if y'all could do us a solid to sort of feed the algorithms and just like that, share that, shout it out. You feel me? Uh, but yeah, so we've been developing. We've been doing some things. I'm getting some things set up. We're hopefully gonna have some guests coming up soon. Now I know we've got COVID going on. I know it's getting a little rough. Uh, we would be moving to a bigger studio, most certainly. So we'll have this content going on here, but when I have guests on the show, we are going to be in a different studio, completely different setting, completely different location. Uh, yeah, and I think it's gonna be great. I've got a bunch of people in mind, a bunch of people on the docket, a bunch of people that are like chomping at the bit to get on the show to just chill and represent a place where we could just kick back. You feel me? They can kick back with their people. They kick back with my people. We kick back with all the people, and that's just what it is. Just chill out. Doesn't have to be. I mean, maybe we'll get big, maybe we won't. But I'm certainly one to hope that we sort of just stay like this, chill. This chill check-in. Making sure y'all feeling great, making sure y'all are hearing a new voice, a different voice, a voice that's kind of plugged in. You feel me? Now let's see. What am I gonna bring up? What has been on my mind? Uh, for those of you who follow UFC, super big controversy. Conor McGregor, Porier. What is this? Conor Porier 3 or something like that? Yeah, 3. Conor was off the wall, off the chain this time. We don't understand why. Going after this dude's mom, telling them he's gonna kill them, telling him he's gonna find them and kill them. Like, my dude, well, first of all, that fight was trash. Not trash in the sense that it was not entertaining. It was entertaining. We had everything built up. Conor did his thing to just be a crazy man this time and cross all kinds of lines that even Dana couldn't like endorse what he was saying and what he was doing. He was like, yeah, this guy kind of crossed the line this time. But just trash in that I was hoping for a Poirier win that was very nail in the coffin. Like, don't come back out of this. I just buried you. Like, you're done. It is definitive that I am just a guy that will beat you. That can and will beat you. Because Conor was given the rematch, and it is what it is. But that it happened the way that it happened. For those who don't know, they fought each other. What was it? UFC 240, 240, 240, 260, 264? 264? Yeah. 264. And it was a doctor stoppage. Conor injured his leg, cracked something in half in his lower leg, right near the ankle. And it was a doctor stoppage. Poirier won by a TKO via a doctor stoppage. And at that point in the fight, first round, right? First round, I've got the stats here. First round, yeah. End of the first round, dude, Conor was getting dominated. For those who don't know, he was getting dominated. For those who aren't necessarily following along and so on and so forth, he got dominated. And towards the latter half of that round, Poirier definitely won that round. It came out later, the scorecards. Poirier won that round definitively, 10-8. I think two out of the three judges scored it at 10-8. Conor still got gassed out. Conor still wasn't doing well on the ground. Tried to throw a guillotine. Like, my guy, you're trying to guillotine a dude that this is his thing. Like, he is an all-around mixed martial artist. He is I think he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's an all-around martial artist. He's gotten plenty of submission victories via the UFC and in his career. Like, he's a dude that does it. And Conor's only just now incorporating that into his game and threw a guillotine on a dude that is like super comfortable on the ground, super comfortable in tight spots in the ground, getting out of submissions. And he just attempted it and tried hard and didn't work, got put on his back. For some reason, Conor was not scared to be on his back, but he needed to be, because Poirier is a dude that will ground and pound, that will submit you, that will keep going, that can get out of submissions. He has really good submission defense. It's not like Khabib, where Khabib is gonna wrestle you to the ground and keep you there and take out all of your stamina and then submit you. Poirier is gonna fight you on the ground. So ground and pound, elbows, submissions, the whole shebang. And that's exactly what happened. Conor got brought to the ground off of his own guillotine, and Conor's trying to fight off of his back, which, whoa, that's a skill in and of itself to develop as a mixed martial artist, where your jiu-jitsu is going to be good, you're going to train your wrestling, but not just your jiu-jitsu's got to be good. If you're going to be a guy that's going to go for submissions, you've got to be comfortable and trained up to fight off of your back and submit off of your back. Conor wasn't there. I don't know why he didn't get up. Don't know why he wasn't trying to get away, to get out. Arguably, I feel like it would have been easier for him to sort of weasel his way out of there, squeeze his way out of that situation and get back up on his feet. But even when Poirier stood up and Conor was sort of trying to defend with his feet kicking upwards, Conor had the time to get up. He had the time to, like, okay, let me transition this back onto the feet so we could fight. He didn't. He stayed. He had the opportunity. And Poirier capitalized and just hammered him. I felt like the ref should have stopped it, but didn't. It's Conor. We want the show. We want the money, so on and so forth. This is Dana White's golden boy still. I don't know. I mean, I want to say I don't know why, but I know why, because it's the green speaks volumes. But yeah, he got pummeled on the ground. Didn't get submitted. End of the first round was approaching. They both ended up getting up. He ended up throwing a punch, cracking his whole leg, his back leg. And Poirier was talking about, he thinks it was a checked kick, or a kick where Conor earlier in the round, because Conor was kicking this time, and he usually doesn't kick like that, was kicking. Not a lot of those kicks were checked, but there seemed to be a few suspect ones where he caught Poirier close to like the knee joint, like close to those thick parts of the bone. And Poirier was saying that he felt something weird. Like, he don't know if it was a crack or something, but something weird was going on after certain kicks that he felt. And so here we are. Conor continued his tirade and just ended unsportsman like it was on another level. I don't know what got this under this dude's skin, or whether he's just that prideful or that egotistical, or feels like he has to just play that character up. But he kept going on about the guy's wife. Like, he was on the ground tending to his knee. Rogan came to him controversially. I feel like it was fine for Rogan to interview him, especially because he welcomed it. But dude was on the ground talking about there were no checked kicks, talking about make sure it's a doctor stoppage, make sure it's a this. Like, dude, your ego is so like, he's getting paid so much money. He still has, I think, another fight on his contract, one or two, and that's it. That's it, but he's up for renewing with the UFC, and I don't think he's going to. He was on some nonsense, talking wild cash crazy about Poirier's wife and what have you still. And Poirier, even in the midst of all of that, when Rogan interviewed Poirier in the ring after the fight, while Conor was getting attended to, Conor was still yelling all kinds of nonsense while Poirier was talking to Rogan. And let me tell you, I have not ever seen a class act I've not seen as much of a class act as Poirier showed himself to be during all of this. 100%. 100%. Dude was in there. He took the time to plug. He wasn't plugging merchandise. He took the time to plug a charity. He took the time to plug what he was doing. I think it's in Africa or Costa Rica or something. He's partnering with a bunch of other athletes and putting up the money and funding to build houses for people out there. Like, this dude was a class act. He could have taken this time to OD on Conor McGregor, because he was whooping him. He was undoubtedly whooping him. Anybody who says that he wasn't is on another level, was watching a different fight. Coach Kavanaugh. Completely different. And he's in another you're in another dimension if you think that Conor was not getting walloped in that fight. Mollywopped in that fight. And if you thought that Conor was going to rally in the second round and not get mollywopped, what? Conor was breathing heavy already. It was the first round. I don't know. But yeah, Poirier hats off to you. Class act. Hope y'all come back. I think he's gonna go fight for the title. He'll probably win. I hope that he does. I feel like he deserves it. He's been out here for super long, developing. He's one of those guys that started in a different era of mixed martial arts and has developed his game to stay relevant through the changing of the guard, various changings of the guard, various developments of the sport, developments the level of competition. He's still in it. He's still here. He's still going. Conor represents a fighter that came in during a certain era of competition and did not change or develop when that competition developed. When the ante was upped, Conor was not here adding new things to his game. So the next time that we see him, he's doing something different. He essentially was just a striker doing the same things for his whole career, and then it caught up to him. He had a fight in Khabib Nurmagomedov that was atrocious because he was not that well-rounded of a mixed martial artist, and Khabib exposed that, and since then, people have been capitalizing on it. And here comes Poirier, a dude that Conor beat a long, long time ago. And rightfully so. Conor was the better fighter. But Conor was not well-rounded. He beat him with striking. And for Conor to fight him now, a completely new dude, it was a different story. It was a different ball game. Dustin Poirier is a new dude. And it's great when you see those athletes who sort of they love doing what they're doing so much that they stay in it and they develop and develop and develop and develop their game. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty great. So Poirier, hats off to you. Now, aftermath, what I think that Conor should have done after Poirier McGregor 2, after that first fight that they fought again, where Conor lost, should have been that Conor should have let go of Kavanagh or integrated Kavanagh into a different training team. That's what I think should have happened. Oftentimes what happens with these fighters is that, especially ones like Conor, who were on the top of the world, who are super champions, super all of this, Conor was gone, left, had all kinds of drama going on. He's got all kinds of money in his bank account now. Many people were questioning whether he lost the hunger for this. Because, when you're wealthy, what else are you going to fight for? You're the champion, or you had been the champion. What else are you going to, you reach the top. Where else are you going to go? You're going to keep that level of hard work going? Very few champions do. Very few winners do. Conor seems to not be that kind of a champion, that kind of a winner. So I feel that Conor should have just changed his whole team up. Change it up. If he loves the sport, he wants to continue to be on top, change it up. Get new dudes, new minds, new brains to take him into the next stage of his career, to develop him into the next kind of fighter that he needs to be. But he didn't do that. Stuck with Kavanagh, stuck with his training camp. There were a bunch of videos that had gone out of him training, and you could see him for this fight particularly, the Poirier 3. You could see him trying to incorporate these kicks and things and kicking wrong. Landing his kicks on the bag in the wrong place on his leg. And it's indicative of the injury that he got during the fight, when the fight came. He was kicking at the wrong place in his leg, real low down, almost by the ankle, landing these kicks. And that's not where you want to do it. You want your shin. You want the thicker part of the bone. And so he's hitting these heavy bags, but at the end of his leg. And it's like, dude, all of the smaller mechanisms and joint mechanisms of your ankle are down there. You don't want to kick that. You don't want to kick with that. But I think that's what he should have done. Revamp the whole team. Kavanagh goes, not because Kavanagh's horrible, but just, we've got to develop into the next stage of my career, and so I need somebody to take me to a different place, not a better place or a higher place, but a different place. Now that I'm such and such years old, been doing this for such and such amount of time, have such and such certain amounts of skills, I need to develop in other areas. That's what he should have done. 100%. Amanda Nunes did that. I don't remember if it was when she became the champion, but she did change teams and went to American Top Team, if I'm not mistaken, and she went to another place in her ability, and constantly and consistently thanks Top Team when she wins. because she seems to be very ingratiated, very grateful to Top Team for taking her game from one level to a different level so that she can continue to be the champion. And Amanda Nunes is an example of one of those champions, one of those winners that have the drive to just keep going. You know, you become champion, you defend your title a few times. It's like, oh, well, and shouts to Chael Sonnen. Go check out his channel, Bad Guy Inc. He does a lot of really great in-depth talks on in-depth talking points from his place of fighting and in octagon experience about these things. But shout to him, because it's his take that, you know, there are champions very rarely that will come in and fight. And, you know, you can translate this to any other area in life and getting to the top, where there are certain people who are just winners and workers and hustlers who love what they're doing, that they'll reach the top. They know they have to maintain their place at the top. And instead of just doing the bare minimum, you know, over time, like the bare minimum to just stay there, they exceed it. And they're like, okay, I'm at the top. It's time to make sure that I stay here. So I'm going to continue to work extra hard. And so there's a distance that gets created between the person who has that drive at the top and the next best person. And Amanda Nunes is an example of that. Conor McGregor is a bad example. Is a person who seems to not be like that, to not have that drive anymore for whatever reason. You know, it's not, there's no judgment. You know, he's made his millions and is continuing to make his millions with his with multiple business ventures and continuing to live a good life. More power to him. So this is not saying, you know, Conor's trash, because I don't know him personally. He's gone through some things. Can't comment like that. But Amanda Nunes is one of those fighters, which is why I like to follow her. It's a very interesting story, very interesting person, where she'll come in each time and defend her title, and she's defended it quite a few times already. Defend her title, and every time she comes back to fight, she exhibits a new skill, a new place in her skill set, a new ability, a new level of competition, to the point that she fights or defends the title, and the gap between the champion and the contender it's getting farther and farther and farther. Very rarely does this ever happen, that you get someone who's at the top of the sport, top of their weight class, and is widening the gap. Each fight, every time we see her fight, it more and more so looks like the number one contender does not belong in the ring with her. Even though the number one contender earned their title shot, they don't belong with her, which is rare. And it's happening consistently, and the gap is getting wider and wider and wider because she just has the drive. Now we're gonna see what's gonna happen with UFC. I believe it's 246, because that was 245 was the most recent one, but UFC 246 is the co-main event. 242. Why am I saying 240? I keep wanting. I don't know what was in the 240s that was a super notable fight that just sticks in my mind. But 265 happening August 7th. And no, this is not a paid endorsement from Ultimate Fighting Champion. This is not, Dana White is not cutting me a check. I'm not sponsored. So I know I talk about a lot about UFC. It's just things that I like. I'm not sponsored by the UFC at all. Yeah. Saturday, August 7th. So coming up next week, this coming week, but however y'all say it. But yeah, co-main event. Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena. I believe in our last episode before our hiatus, I talked about Juliana Pena talking brazy, trying to get a title shot with Amanda Nunes. Now, I do not believe that Juliana Pena deserves a title shot. I do not believe or think that she is the number one contender. I do believe that there are plenty of women that can beat Juliana Pena rather easily in the rankings. It seems like Juliana Pena has just been, and she's a Pena, I'm a Pena, you know, no shade, but come on, dude, my guy. Like, she kind of just flapped her mouth for long enough for them to then give her the fight. And I think there are women that are at the higher parts of the ranks that don't want to fight Amanda Nunes. I believe Holly Holm will fight Amanda Nunes. She'll fight anybody. But that fight's happened already, and the matchmakers and Dana White. Oh well, we've seen that already. We've got to generate ticket sales. We've got to generate some kind of buzz. People have seen it already, and it wasn't too long ago. So Juliana Pena is getting the title shot, and from running her mouth. So she was trying to make it like Nunez was ducking her because Juliana Pena was flapping her mouth and challenging Nunez, calling out Nunez, and Nunez wasn't saying anything. And then eventually, which I don't think was the case, I think, and based on what Nunez has shared, that is just that Juliana Pena is not on her level. So why am I gonna answer a call out from someone who's so low in the ranks? Like you're not even championship material yet. You're not even top 5 material yet. You're not even number 1 contender. Like why am I caring about you? I think that's what the sentiment was, and Nunez shared something similar. Like, dude, you're not even on my level. Like I'm not even checking for you to think that I'm ducking you. Like I'm not even checking for you, my dude, my guy. But Nunez was straight up like, this is how it always goes. Everybody flaps their gums. They run their mouth. Everybody's like, oh, is this person going to beat? Is this person going to beat? And I'm just going to come in and it's going to be over and we're going to be done. That's what's going to happen. And she did it very nonchalantly, very chill, not talking crazy on some personal level, but just like, nah, I'm going to beat her. That's just what it's going to be. This is how it always goes. This is the story. So Nunez is not afraid of Juliana Pena, and I agree with that. I don't think Amanda Nunez has anything to fear from Juliana Pena. I've seen her Juliana Pena's past performances. She doesn't look like she has the killer instinct of a champion. 1. And 2, she seems too slow for Amanda Nunez at bantamweight. Too slow. This is the bantamweight fight, right? Yeah. At bantamweight, nah. Juliana Pena is so. I hope that she's training and gets faster, but from what I've seen about her, what I've seen from her past performances, she's way too slow for Amanda Nunez. She is Cyborg slow, and we thought Cyborg was fast. At what, featherweight? I think that was. And Amanda Nunez came in, built up her weight. She gained weight. She went up a weight class to fight Cyborg. Didn't make Cyborg come down like somebody else, like a man, like Ronda Rousey kept ducking Cyborg, trying to make her come all the way down, and Cyborg just not naturally can come down. It was a health matter. Rousey didn't come up to Cyborg to meet her halfway. Cyborg was willing to fight Rousey. Talk about ducking. Nunez gained weight, jumped weight classes to fight Cyborg, to make that fight happen, and knocked the bejesus, beat the brakes off of Chris Cyborg. And I love Chris Cyborg. She's amazing. I'm a huge fan. So, and was faster. So my point is that Nunez went up a weight class and was still faster than the most dominant fighter in that weight class. Just beating her to the punch, beating her to the gun. She's just too quick and powerful. So imagine coming back to bantamweight and clocking. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to see what's going to happen. My prediction is Amanda Nunez is going to mollywop Juliana Pena. I think Juliana Pena is going to underestimate Nunez and think that she's strong enough to handle her hits, that her chin is strong enough, and she's going to step toe-to-toe, and they're going to exchange the way that Chris Cyborg had that sort of bout of ego where she was like, she wants to bang with me, so I'm going to bang with her. Just throughout all of her plan that she worked out that her coaches worked out for her in order to beat Nunez, I think Juliana Pena is going to do that. She's going to get hit once or twice, think that she's all good, and step up and stay in one place, because Juliana Pena does not have the head movement that she needs to have, in my opinion. Judging from her past performances, doesn't have the head movement involved, doesn't have the footwork involved, just doesn't have the movement involved. Forget the power, forget the punching, forget the ring IQ. Just doesn't have the movement involved to really confuse Nunez, to really get in there with technique Nunez. Because I feel in my heart of hearts, and armchair quarterback, I have not been in the octagon. Just from looking at what's happening in front of me, it very much so seems like it's gonna take someone that is faster than Nunez and someone whose technique is better than Nunez. but it's got to be a combination. It can't just be someone whose techniques are better. So because she fought Holly Holm and Holly Holm's techniques were better, I feel like if we go back into the tail of the tape and y'all can watch it, when she fought Holly Holm, Nunes respected Holly Holm, I think, more than any other fighter that she's fought, especially during her championship run. When she fought Misha, she bulldozed Misha. There was no respect for Misha's power, for Misha's jiu-jitsu, nothing. She just was a bulldozer. She mauled Misha Tate to the point that Misha Tate retired and is now coming back. Huge fan, Misha Tate. This is not shade. I saw your last fight. It was pretty cool. I'm super stoked to see you come back and fight not Ronda, to fight Amanda Nunes again. And yeah, she fought Misha, she fought Holly, she fought Megan Anderson. Megan Anderson, she didn't have any respect for Megan Anderson. She mollywopped Megan Anderson. When she fought Holly, there was like I can't step right to you and just start throwing. And when she would throw, Holly would catch her a little bit. Holly's movements were on a different level. It's just Holly couldn't capitalize. Holly finally got hit and was on cloud 9. Didn't know where she was. She wanted to get out of that ring. Just got hit and it just stung too much. And, she got taken down. But for a brief moment there, Holly looked like she could have been the one to stop Nunes. But it was because of her technique and because Nunes respected her technique, her footwork, her boxing, her striking. She respected it. It's just Holly wasn't that powerful. And I think, or fast enough to just cut and get in. Cut, get in. Cut with elbows. Get in with elbows. Like really devastate her. Because Holly doesn't seem to have that much punching power, but she'll beat you with points. She'll beat you with technique. So I think that's what it's going to take to beat Nunes. But as it stands now, Nunes is out here, and the nearest competition to her, the closest competition, which isn't even Juliana Pena, the closest competition is out here. So it's like, I expect Nunes to go out with the championship. I expect her to beat Juliana Pena decidedly, definitively. And I think there's no one else for her to fight unless they want to make repeat fights and do a Holly Holm 2, or Misha Tate 2. I don't think Misha Tate is ready to fight Nunes. There are number one contenders there in the top 5 that have been vocal and said that they do not want to fight Amanda Nunes, that they feel like they're not ready. So I think she goes out on top. I think she has a crazy win streak. She goes down as one of the greatest to ever do it, and call it a day. Now, on to so CDC is on it. NYC is doing a homecoming concert series, which I think is kind of cool. I think it's the Blasio trying to go out with a bang, which is cool. I can applaud the effort for that, bringing in people, and I see the hustle because they're trying to get more people vaccinated in NYC, even though, if I'm not mistaken, we're over 70% vaccinated. Excuse me. They're trying to get people vaccinated and trying to figure out how to do it. Trying to figure out, save from making it a mandate that you have to go and get vaccinated. They're trying to figure out how to make people do it, how to coerce people into getting these vaccinations. And so if you're planning on going to this concert series, and I believe it's one in each borough, you got to be vaccinated, have an approved vaccination in order to enjoy the concerts. And they're free concerts. And in my mind, I'm like, why didn't we do this before? Like, forget COVID. Why didn't we have cool cultural stuff like this going on for free before with big names? I mean, you come to New York, there's little concerts happening everywhere. Like, you can go on the train station and hear some great music. But I feel like, people giving back in that way, artists giving back, being a neighbor, being a partner, and giving back to the people, giving back to the fans, doing some cool free stuff. I thought about that a long time, or I've been thinking about that for a long time. Like, why aren't there more just free? There's just free concerts for the people. But it is what it is. Green is green. And these concert series are going on. De Blasio, I guess he's trying to garner some kind of support. A lot of us don't like him. A mentor of mine called him De Blasio, which was super funny. But the concert series is happening. So for those of y'all who are vaccinated, I hope that y'all enjoy it. Seems like it's going to be fun. I don't know what's going down with the CDC, though. since they just fresh off of changing the mandate to bringing back indoor masking to vaccinated people, I feel like it would not make sense for them to even say that you got to mask up and it's outdoors. Ultraviolet, COVID doesn't really survive any meaningful amount of time to be transmitted unless you're got an open wound and you're breathing in someone's eyes or something. But we'll see what happens. I did not like point of commentary. I was definitely in the crowd, in the peanut gallery, in the hot take crew that felt that the parade that we had last month, I think, the parade that we had for first responders, for frontline workers, I was not with it. And I know some of y'all listening might be like, oh, why were you not? We need to get honored and so on and so forth. Boots on the ground, frontline workers, boots on the ground. A lot of people were like, it's a slap in the face. Like, we should not be getting a parade. We should be getting financial compensation. You know, the trillion of the whatever $1 billion of COVID aid or COVID relief that's just sitting there. It should go to frontline workers, first responders, frontline workers, for their contribution in saving lives. I forgot, was it in the New York Post? It was an article a while ago where they interviewed people that were like, yo, they had to work in the lockdowns. Their workloads were insane. The workloads. The shifts that they had to work were insane. EMS, insane. Nurse shifts, insane. I feel, and I agree with boots on the ground, real world people, real world salt of the earth working to save lives. I'm with them that they needed to be financially compensated. An extra stipend, extra 1,000, extra 4K. I mean, it's $1 billion or something dollars that's in the rental relief for New York City, I think. I think it's $1 billion something, million something for COVID relief. And a lot of that has gone unallocated. A lot of it. It was just making the news rounds the other day. The other day meaning like yesterday. That there's $2.4 billion or something like that in rental relief for New York City. That New York City is just sitting on. Most of it has not been allocated at all. So it's like, do they need a parade to then just, oh yeah, we remember and then we think? To have most of them working during the parade, taking shifts during the parade because they got to work, they got to feed their family. A financial blessing would work out so much better for them, especially because a lot of their family members, they come from families where people lost their jobs during COVID because of the lockdowns. And a lot of there are people situations where these frontline workers, the EMS workers, first responders, they had to become the sole breadwinners in their families because the husband or the wife lost their job. So they had to try to keep things going. So it's like, I felt like that would have been it. Like, give the financial support, send out checks to them. If you want to stimulate the economy, the New York City economy, talking about getting people back to work, we're trying to rebuild, we're trying to get back to where we were and to even greater. Put money in people's pockets. Watch them spend it. Watch the money move. Watch the green move. Right? Re-inject into the economy. Yeah, but he didn't do that. We got a parade so that we can throw some ticker tape and stand on lines and, nobody wearing masks, everybody super spreader events, quote unquote. Yeah. I don't know. Just interesting. The world is an interesting place. Humans are interesting. They do very interesting things. So I think that's as far as I'm going to go today on this episode. Just chilling, just kicking back. We're going to get into some more in-depth stuff, have longer episodes next week, a longer episode next week. I hope that y'all enjoyed this time. I know it's been a minute. I know some of y'all might have been, where's the podcast at? Where you at? You just fell off the face. We do that sometimes. This was very much so an unintended, an unexpected, and an unintended hiatus. Had some work going on in other areas of entertainment and otherwise, and I'm just coming back to it, y'all. So glad that y'all spent this time with me. I know, this is it's something that I'm super grateful for. Super grateful because you don't have to spend your time listening to me. Even a portion of this podcast. You may not watch the whole thing. You may not listen to the whole thing, but just a portion. Thank y'all so much. If y'all listening to 2 minutes of this, 5 minutes, thank y'all so much. It really means a lot. For those who are liking, who are subscribing to the YouTube channel, who are RSS feeding the podcast, getting the notifications. For those of you who are sharing the podcast, the video, the audio, thank y'all so much. It means a lot. And for those who aren't, please get on that. Give me reviews. Like, I want to know what y'all think about this podcast. 5-star reviews, 3-star reviews. Like, come on. I want to make this the best place that y'all could come to chill out, sit back, lounge around. We just talk. We talk the talk. You feel me? And the best way for me to do that is to hear from y'all. How do y'all feel about these issues? For those of you who like mixed martial arts, what do y'all think about UFC 265 coming up? Do you think Nunez is going to meet her match in Juliana Pena or nah? You feel me? What do y'all think about that ticker tape parade that they had for the frontline workers? Do y'all agree that maybe a check would have been better to kind of reignite the New York City economy? Or did y'all enjoy that they did that? And we're like, oh man, that's great. Thank you so much. No hate here. Share your opinions. Let us know here at the podcast. We want to hear from y'all. So on our way out, social media, Instagram, Facebook, hit us up, follow, like, subscribe, share it. You feel me? On Facebook, give us a review. Let people know what this podcast is all about. Let people know what you like about this podcast. You feel me? YouTube, comment, like, subscribe, share. We want to hear from y'all. Email thesocialmillenialpodcast at gmail.com. Hit us up, and drumroll please. So the merch is finally up. Boom. We did it. Finally. It's been a minute. I know we had the hiatus, and even from before the hiatus, I've been talking about we're working on merch. The merch has dropped. There will be links in the description. Please enjoy. Make sure to share. You feel me? It's right now, we've got a full line of products. Social Millennial Podcast merch. Full line. I mean, phone cases, pillows, masks. We got masks. T-shirts, hoodies, many different colors. Mugs, cups. I mean, art. Like wall art. All kinds of things. Okay? Now, some of the items will be up for a limited time. Okay, so make sure to get on it, but it's all in one place. All right, so make sure to hit the link in the description, and we can call that a day. You feel me? Now, I hope that y'all enjoyed our time together. I hope that y'all enjoy the merch. I hope that y'all sound off. I really want to hear from y'all. It would be great. It would be so cool. Get the interaction. You feel me? I might even read y'all comments on the show. So yeah. I'm pretty hype about that. I'm waiting to be able to do that. And remember, we've got the video content. So hello, my YouTube peoples. But for those of you who listen and y'all want to see what goes on in this show, head on over to YouTube, the Social Millennial Podcast. If y'all are on the YouTube and want to just have it listening, maybe listen to it in the morning when you go to work or when you're chilling out doing your workout. We are everywhere, if I'm not mistaken, everywhere that podcasts are served. So Apple, Google, Stitcher, Radio Public, Spotify. Am I missing any? Google Podcasts, if I'm not mistaken, we are still there. Let me see. Pandora, I think we're Pandora still. Slacker, I think we're Slacker still. All of the majors, we're there. So come and chill with us. You feel me? Take some time. We've got a bunch of episodes, bunch of backlogged episodes. Everything that I'm talking about for this episode, links will be in the description. Merch store is in the description. Buy some things. Send in a picture with a t-shirt, with a hoodie, and we will post you up on the Instagram. We will post you up on the Facebook. We might even give you a little bit of airtime on the YouTube channel. You feel me? So yeah, tag us, okay? Hashtag social millennial pod. And that's millennial with 2 L's and 1 N. Okay? Social millennial pod. At social millennial pod. That's our Instagram. That's our Facebook. And if you want to tag us and stuff, tag us. You can hashtag us. That would be great. You take a picture, hashtag social millennial pod, representing, you feel me? Gang, gang. We out here, the family. And I hope y'all have a great week. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And we'll see y'all on the next one. All right? Peace.